Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be working up in the front flower beds in front of my house. They're kind of like at the entrance to my house, and today's goal is to deck these flower beds out for fall. I am kind of like in this rut for fall this year. I feel like so many different things have been happening in my life, and I just want to deck this area out for fall. I want it to be super fun. I don't want to do what I always do every year. I want to do something different. And so I went to the store, found a whole bunch of beautiful plants, and we're just going to deck this area out. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of an overview of the area that we're working on today. So this is our walkway up to our front porch where our front door is. And here I have a whole bunch of different grasses and flowers and things. I got some pumpkins, and normally I have these heuchera that are here. The arborvitaes are usually there. I have some beautiful sedum in this area that come back every year, and then I have a whole bunch of hostas. So everything else in this area is new that I'm going to be planting today. And so I figured I would just go through these and kind of one by one show you what I picked. I have 3 of these big, tall, purple, dark colored strappy grasses. They just keep falling over. So I have one placed over here, one here in the middle, and then one over here, which I think they're going to be beautiful. I'll show you kind of what I'm going for once I get them planted and you can see them all standing up. So this grass here is a pennisetum. It's called First Night. This is an annual grass for my area, but absolutely beautiful, striking, strappy foliage. Kind of reminds me of a millet, if you guys know what a millet is, but usually millet is a green leaf and then it gets like these big stalks in it, but it kind of reminds me of the structure of a millet plant. But very beautiful. And then we have a bunch of different kinds of Rudbeckia. So here's Cherokee Sunset Rudbeckia, and look at that flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Up here, let's see, look at those ones. Oh, so pretty. This one is Cherokee Sunset as well. So that's surprising. So some of them have more of like a doubled appearance with like smaller leaves. And then some of them have more this look to them. Pretty cool. Then I have these ones and these ones over here. So they are all Cherokee Sun Rudbeckia, at least that's what they're tagged. But they each have a little bit of a different look to them. And then I have these grasses here, which are a perennial fountain grass. Normally we think of purple fountain grass, but these ones are not that. They are a little bit different, but they are absolutely beautiful. I actually have some purple fountain grass over here that we're going to be using today. I wanted to kind of balance the grassy texture from over here and bring a little bit over here. So I have 2 purple fountain grasses here, and then I have a gaillardia right here. I'm not sure what kind of gaillardia. It does not have a tag on it, but it is beautiful. I even like the blooms that are done blooming. I think they add interesting texture, at least to the plant, and they don't look dead, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't really need to come out and deadhead these because they don't look terrible once they're done blooming. So that's basically what I have so far, and this is kind of the layout that I was playing around with. I think it's going to be cute when it's all put together. I have some mums and things like that, but I think I'm going to save those for containers. I really want this space out here to look good most of the season, at least the season that we have left, and mums kind of bloom out quickly. So that might be something that's actually a little bit of a controversial topic, because I know mums are the favorite of fall. Everybody wants the mums. Everybody's selling the mums. The mums look amazing. They look gorgeous. Everybody wants mums, right? In fall time. And I also love mums. But here's what I don't like about them is if you buy the ones in the store that are absolutely gorgeous in full bloom, you'll probably get a week or two, pushing 3 weeks for those plants. Mums, when they start to bloom, really only have 3 weeks left of blooming time with them. Now, you can come out and deadhead them, and they will continue to produce blooms, but not like that first flush of bloom. So if you're expecting your mums to look amazing the whole fall season, especially if you're planting your mums a little bit early and getting your containers ready, they're just not going to last all season for you. Now, I will give you a trick. If you want to have mums, which I want to have mums, I just don't want my entire fall planting to be mums. When you go to the store, resist the temptation to buy the mums that are absolutely gorgeous, because you're not going to get as much time out of those. When you go to the store, look for mums that look like this. So there's some starting to open up. I obviously know what color this mum is going to be, but most of the blooms are still in bud form. There's still tons of buds all over this mum. Now, looking at this in the store, it's not much to look at. And bringing it home and putting it in your container, you're going to get a little bit of color here and there. But right away, this may not be your showstopper of a plant, but this will continue to bloom much longer for you than if you were to buy one that's already in full glorious bloom. So that's just a little bit of a trick for you guys. I always buy my mums when they're in bud stage like this. And then if you try to keep on top of deadheading these, they will continue to push blooms a little longer for you and get you to go a little longer in the season. So that's my little tip on mums. Again, I don't want my entire landscaping for fall to be full of mums, just because I know they're really not going to last me the biggest part of the fall season with the big, beautiful show. They're just not. A lot of times I have depended on my mums to be like my showstopper thing, and I regretted it every time, because although they may look amazing for like a week or two, soon after they fizzled out and you had a bunch of dead mums with some pumpkins, you know. So if you're looking for something to just carry you through a little further into the season, look for something that can handle a little bit of light frost. So things like violas, pansies, the rudbeckia that I showed you, grasses hold up really well. The purple fountain grass can take a light frost, but they really can't take anything, you know, too substantial. The bigger grasses that I got, most of them, oh no, the one isn't perennial. The big pennisetum is not perennial, but it can probably take a light frost. The other grasses are perennial, and so I know that they can take a heavy frost and still look okay. They may not be still growing anymore, but they'll still hold up that structure that I'm looking for and kind of bring some of that color that I put them there for. Like the pennisetum is not really going to lose its color. It'll still bring the structure and the color, even though it may be dying off because of the frost. So those are certain things that you want to think about. I love grasses for fall. They just, the seed heads, the structure, something about them just brings a very beautiful fall vibe. Also the colors that you can get them in, the reds and the browns and the greens, beautiful. The other thing that I love to use is kale and cabbage. So ornamental kales and cabbage are absolutely wonderful to use in fall arrangements. They can take like full-on frost and still look pretty decent. I actually had some kale that I put in containers last fall, and they wintered over the entire time in the pots, and the next spring they didn't look that bad. Like, of course they had some dead leaves around the sides and stuff, but the center of them still looked nice and healthy and full of color. So it was pretty crazy. So those are some of my fall like go-to things that I like to look for. This year, like I said, I'm planning to do things a little bit differently than I normally do. I don't normally plant anything in the ground for fall. So like for my fall display, it's usually just containers. I'll pop a container here and there and with some beautiful things in it. But this year I really wanted to do something different, and I really wanted to push my creativity and try something new because I was kind of tired of the old. Do you ever get like, you know, the year rolls around and it's like, I don't just want to do the same thing that I always do. I want to do something different. And so that's how I'm feeling this year. And so we're going to do a bunch of in-ground planting up here in this front section. Of course, I'm still going to have some containers, but I'm really excited for this space. I think it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, let's get it planted and then I'll show you how it looks when we're done. Well guys, it's all done finally, and I remembered something about why I don't plant things in this flower bed very often, and it's because there are massive tree roots from this gigantic tree that I can't even get in the picture. It's absolutely huge, and so there are gigantic roots under this bed, and it used to be full of rock, and so it's still pretty rocky, and so that makes planting things in this bed a little bit tricky. But honestly, I'm so happy with how this turned out. It looks so beautiful. I think it's perfect for fall, and I think it's going to give us a beautiful show all season long. So the rest of the season, until frost, until winter, I think we're going to have an absolutely gorgeous show. Now, a couple of things that I did mention earlier, but I want to just highlight, is the fact that these grasses right here, the green ones with the beautiful plumes on them, and the Rebeckias, the Gaillardia that I'm using on this side right here, they are all perennials, so they are all going to come back next year. I can leave them in this space or I can move them somewhere else, but I love using plants that I can use one season and then use them for something else the next season. This year I might want them for a fall display. Next year I might want to just tuck them into the landscape somewhere else. So I love using perennials for that. It's such a good way to get the bang for your buck because they're not going to die this season. Now, certain annuals definitely make it worth it though to spend the money on them and to plant them. Certain things absolutely steal my heart as far as annuals go, and I will forever buy them even though they die after one season. But there are just some fun things that you can fudge with perennials where, like I said, you can use them for one thing one season and then something totally different the next season, and you get more than one purpose out of the plant, and I like doing that. So now that it's all finished, I want to just walk through this space. I decided to add a few more things after I was done doing the main space, and I might end up mulching this space. I haven't decided yet. It would make it look more tidy, but at the same time it's kind of coming towards the end of the season. Sometimes I do mulch in the fall. doesn't really need it, but it would make it look nice. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, let me show you a little closer what we ended up with. Okay, so this side over here we have our gaillardia right there, and then our two purple fountain grasses, which I'm going to try to keep my shadow out of the picture as much as possible, but the sun is right behind me right now. But I think they look so sweet and beautiful. And really, the gaillardia has like mum-esque blooms, so I think it kind of just pulls in that mum feel, and it's a beautiful color. I love it. Then of course we have our pumpkins, and then on this side we have our perennial grass here in front, our rudbeckias right here. Then we have our gorgeous sedum, our tall pennisetum grass with that beautiful striking color, another rudbeckia here, a rudbeckia tucked in here, another grass. And then I decided to add this container of mums. I squished 3 mums that I had together in this container, and I thought it added some interest back here. This space was just looking a little empty to me, so I wanted to just pop that in there. And again, they are in bud form, starting to just open up a little bit here and there, but they're going to be gorgeous in just a few days. And then I decided to plant up this container up here, which there is our little wonderful blue tarp over there. So I decided to plant this container up because it's kind of just in the same eye line as the rest of everything I was working on. So I have a rudbeckia here in the back as my tallest layer. I have a cabbage right here, beautiful coloring in that. I have a couple of supertunias right here. I'm not sure the names of them, but they are beautiful. And then this is a mum, and this mum is a bright pink color. Not really bright pink, I guess. It's more of like a vibrant pink, and it's going to be beautiful. Kind of pulling the pink-ish, reddish color from this one right here. That's what this color is going to be, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. So I'm waiting for that one to bloom. He has tiny little buds on him. He's going to be blooming here probably in the next week or 2. So I decided to do him as well. So that's going to be it for now. I have some more containers, and of course my porch, which I like to decorate for fall. Honestly though, everything on my porch still looks amazing. So all of the plants there are still looking really healthy and really beautiful. And I hate to just pull them out at this point. I will be transitioning them over at some point, but at least I got this front entrance done and it looks beautiful. So happy with the way it turned out. I hope this video was inspiring to you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.